In this episode, I'm going to talk about social influence. Why I believe social influence is important, regardless if you're in sales or not, and this is why I'm putting it inside the Breakfast of Champions, is because I get it. Some of you just like the morning motivational content. You're not necessarily in sales. You're like, yo, D, I don't really need to persuade anybody. I got a base salary.
Connected to Sales Remastered.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sales Remastered. My name is Daniel. I'm your host, and in this episode, we're going to talk about social influence. But before I even jump and dive into that topic, let me give you a quick update. Moving forward, if you see me in gym gear or gym attire, that means that the content was right after I came from the gym, and more than likely is going to be based on brain food. It's going to be real, what I like to call Breakfast of Champions. And what I mean by that is it's going to be based on some content to get your think tank in motion, get your brain warmed up, get your thoughts in motion, and start that movement, right? And why I think it's important to do this in the morning is because when you ponder on a thought, or when you learn some information that enables you to look at things in a different way, it takes the focus away from the grind you had the day before. It takes away from the focus of the grind that you got in your day ahead. But more importantly, it enables you to unplug. And I know sometimes we believe unplugging is like a week in Hawaii or something like that, right? Like me unplugging is like me, man, just let me take a week off, or let me plop on the couch and watch this game. We all have our own ways to unplug, but I have found that you're able to properly prepare yourself and create a clear mental state to better address the day ahead and better achieve and overcome the obstacles that you'll have in your path. And so I wanted to make sure that in the mornings, if you see me in gym gear, I want you to know that number one, it's going to be motivational shit. Number two, I'm more than likely going to curse. So profanity's not your thing and you're fancy, then look for the content where I'm a little bit more professionally dressed, because I'll then have information that's not filled with profanity, much like my digital course, by the way. So if you haven't clicked the link in the bio, go check that out. Very professional content brought to you by Sales Remastered, where it's been a great day, and it's going to be an even better day for you, because I'm going to show you how to increase your sales, increase your momentum, increase your energy and your optimism. Imagine your attitude, how it would be if you figured out the secret to making sales. Anyway, more information on that would link in the bio, but in this episode, I'm going to talk about social influence. Why I believe social influence is important, regardless if you're in sales or not, and this is why I'm putting it inside the Breakfast of Champions, is because I get it. Some of you just like the morning motivational content. You're not necessarily in sales. You're like, yo, D, I don't really need to persuade anybody. I got a base salary. Cool, I'm with you. Anyway, this information is reliable, and it's important because every single day, no matter what you do for work, whether you're a parking attendant or you're a receptionist or you're a sales executive, you know, at the end of the day, we all communicate, right? We all communicate with our family, our coworkers, our friends, and social influence plays a pretty big role because, well, it's based on social influence. It's based on the society. It's based on the circle and the people around you every day, day in, day out, not just your family, but your coworkers, your friends, your clique, your crew. And what I have found was that social influence plays 99% of the role in decision making, right? Which further illustrates that it has a lot to do with emotion. So influence and emotion are pretty much the same thing. Like, you know, you're influenced by your emotions. You get it? So you're influenced to, let's say, pull over in traffic because you really got to go to the bathroom. Or you're influenced to go through drive-through even though you're on a diet because you're really, really hungry. Or you're influenced to eat salty foods when you're stressed the fuck out because, well, it's quick and easy. And anyway, when we understand the dynamics and the role that social influence plays, I believe we can utilize it in our advantage. And so I'm a sales dude. So I'm gonna use the experience or this example in a sales scenario. And you can use this example in your everyday scenario when you're engaging with your manager, or you're engaging with those who are your subordinates, your assistants, or all the way, to your spouse, your kids, your gardener, whatever. At the end of the day, social influence plays a role because it is the way our message is relayed, it's communicated. And people in society are going to be influenced to act one way or another. There's really only two ways: in compliance or non-compliance. Get it? So they're either going to be with your message and all about it, or they're not going to be with your message and just doubt it. And so why this is important to understand, and why I believe social influence plays a massive role in your success, in your relationship, in your employment, in your own internal belief system, is because, again, social influence plays 99% of the role as to why you made the decisions you make. And so we believe that, we are the ones that made our decision. We believe we ended up with who we're with right now because, of destiny, because we made the decision. Or we believe we ended up in the neighborhood that we live in right now because of destiny or because of our decision. When even the cars that we drive, even, the clothes that we wear, even the way that we talk, we believe it's us. But in all reality, it is the byproduct of our social circle. Meaning I drive what I drive right now because I was influenced by my social circle. At some point in time throughout the ripples of my life, my decision up till today was determined and actually planted years, probably decades ago, where I saw the specific brand of BMW. That's what kind of car I got. BMW, and I'm like, oh man, that's a fucking fancy car. And so I went with it. And same thing with my neighborhood, my house, my zip code, where I stay, where I live, the school my kids go to. It's all predicated based on social influence. And so you'd be like, but D, I thought you grew up in the hood, bro. I know, that's why I'm here. It's because I don't want my kids to grow up in the hood, boo-boo. So it all has a role with regards to where we're at right now. Social influence is key. And so I'm applied to sales, as I'd mentioned, before I go hop in and wash my glistening body and get ready for work, and then prepare some non-profanity professional content for you. I wanted to use it in an example of sales because hopefully some of you guys are in sales. And if I was using social influence, let's say selling a person of authority, we'll just say law enforcement. I would utilize words that law enforcement or that prospect who works in law enforcement are most influenced by. And so I would maybe consider words like protect, or honor, or serve, or community, or protector, right? These words are something that law enforcement authority would relate to, feel, and have an emotional bond to, because that day in, day out, right? That's their pledge to serve the community, to serve and protect the community. So I'm using these words because that's something that they stand behind. On the flip side, if I were to be dealing with a less authoritative figure, let's just say an admin assistant, right? Like an executive assistant. Well, then I would use words that they would be most associated with, right? Like support, or urgent, or let me see, what else? I don't know. You get what I'm saying, all right? And so we have to consider and take a step back before we just jump into a sale. We always got to consider what it is through their eyes, look at it through their point of view. And when we take the time to consider it from their point of view, then we take the time to consider other things that are relevant, like their job title, like the words that they use. So if they come in and say, I heard something interesting and I wanted to learn more. So now I know that they anchor the word interesting with something that they want to learn more about. And so if I were losing that person and they're trying to give me an excuse and get me off the phone, I would say, hey, you know what? I just thought of something interesting. I want to show you. And now I got their attention to come back, right? Now on the flip side, if I heard them describe a bad experience and they said the word, I don't know, let's say bloody, right? Or horrible. Let's just say horrible, right? And they said, oh yeah, I dealt with that company. It was just a horrible experience. Then I know that they anchored that particular word with something they want to avoid, right? So if I was losing them again on a sale because of the price, then I would say, well, the last thing you want to do is avoid another horrible experience. And what I had found is, in order to protect my clients from horrible service, what I've done to protect them is this, and this, right? And so now I'm associating everything else but me with the word horrible, because I know that they use that word in that particular way. And a lot of times it's because of their social influence. So anytime in their social circle they hear horrible, they're going to think of my competitors. But anytime they hear the word interesting, they're going to think about me. Get it? So these are words, these are triggers, these are anchors, and social influence plays a massive role. Imagine if you're in a public setting. Let's just say you're at the state fair, and then all of a sudden a big group of people started running in one direction. What do you think you would do? More than likely, you'd probably start, running in that direction too, because you're like, dude, I don't want to be the only one left out. Well, the same thing happens in traffic. Have you ever been in traffic and then you notice one lane is just wide open? Right? But everyone's in one lane. Like they're just staying in the lane. They're not moving. But if you just went to the next lane over, you'd be wide open. Like you could pass massive amount of cars, save yourself probably a good 20 minutes. But why is everyone staying in that line? Everyone's staying in that line because of social influence. I was at this new restaurant that opened up in my neighborhood the other day. This place is packed. Like the drive-thru was bumping. It literally, I got out of my car because I didn't want to go through the drive-thru, and I went inside to go pick up our lunch, and there's a massive long line. Anyway, I go through the line, pick up the food, I'm with my daughter, and we're sitting on the side, right? We're standing on the side waiting for our number to be called to get our food. And as we're waiting, there's still this massive line going out the door, and then there's another line of people waiting for their food. So apparently this side already ordered, this side's still in line. Well, these kids came in through another door who was on the side of the people waiting in line, and they stood there behind the people as if that was the line. Well, they were there for damn near 20 minutes, and they were like, oh, I thought this was the line. Oh, no one was moving. Oh, okay. And does that make sense? So they were influenced to stand in that group because there was a group, and they believed that there was two lines going in one, but none of them had the at least the foresight to look and say, hey, why is that guy got a fucking receipt? Why does this person have the cup? Right? Apparently they bought into this place. Those other people, they don't got no receipts. They don't got no cups. But no one put two and two together. They just assumed that was the line. And so as they're lost and they're distracted by the menu, they believe they're in the right place. But if they would have just opened their eyes, they would have saved themselves a massive amount of time. And I hope you open your eyes today. Go check out the link in my bio. Go peep the content that's on the digital course. The library is available. And let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.